Everything went blurry. I couldn't hear anything. It started to go black. And I was in the worst pain of my entire life. I felt like I was going to die. I felt like somebody shot me in the pussy. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, Samantha. Wait, I forgot to do the little luxury thing. One sec. Hello, everybody. Hello, my luxuries. It is me, Samantha. Welcome back to my channel. I still kind of want to do like, hello, my luxury hoes or something like that. Like, how cute would that be? Do you guys want to be luxury hoes? Kind of like a mixture of both of them. Let me know what you think. Recently, one of my favorite YouTubers, Gigi Gorgeous, came out with a video about her sexual reassignment surgery and like the time that she backed out of it. It got me thinking about my surgery and the videos that I've made. And I looked back and I didn't really talk about my surgery that much, but I'm here now. Things are great. I have no regrets, obviously. I'm very, very happy with everything. And I am here to tell you guys what it was like. So buckle up. Before I get started, I want to remind you guys to subscribe right down below. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. They are both down in the description box. And yeah, sick. Also, I'm going to be doing a frequently asked questions section of this video at the end. So make sure that you watch the whole video if you want to see maybe your question get answered or questions that other people that follow me also are asking. So yeah, if you have any questions that I'm not answering throughout the video, it'll probably be answered at the end. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. So I had my surgery about 2 years ago. Well, I had a two-part surgery. So I had like the original vaginoplasty, and then I had about 3 months later, I had the labiaplasty, which is when they go back in and do like the cosmetic work and make it look really good. July 28th of 2016 was my first bottom surgery. And then I had the second one in December of that same year. So before I get into my experience and who I went to, all that kind of stuff, I want to talk about why I had this surgery. For me, I was never too dysphoric about what I had done there when I was alone, but when I was with other people, I did not just like with any other random person, but like when I was with somebody like intimately, I wouldn't want them to be anywhere near me down there. I didn't hook up with anybody after I transitioned, to be honest, just because I was so uncomfortable with having that down there. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like I was supposed to be there. It didn't feel like I was supposed to be using that. Whenever I even thought about using it in a situation with a boy, like I instantly was turned off. I instantly like was extremely dysphoric and just didn't want anything to do with it. Of course, I was very, very scared of the surgery, but I knew that it was something that I was going to need if I was going to live a life where I was going to find a relationship and be intimate with somebody and also just feel comfortable with my body. For me, I knew that I needed this surgery. I knew that living my life without this surgery was not going to be like my most fulfilling life. A big question that people always have for me is, how did I afford this surgery? I do live in the United States and I do have health insurance. I'm under my mother's plan, actually. I don't really know much about health insurance. My mom has literally been a savior in this process. And just to like put that into perspective, my mom was actually the first person in the entire United States to get Cigna to cover this surgery. So yeah, Cigna did end up covering both of my surgeries after a long battle with them. But yeah, they were completely necessary. They were completely reconstructive almost, but they weren't cosmetic or anything like that. This was something that I needed for my livelihood. Choosing a surgeon is also a very, very important part of this journey. You don't want to rush it. You want to make sure that you do as much research as possible so that you know what you're going to get and you know that you're going to be happy with what you get. Also, you want to make sure that you trust your surgeon with your life because it's literally your life on the line. For me, I was seeing a gender therapist for about 3 to 6 months, I'll say. I'm not sure the exact time frame, but I was seeing a gender therapist for a long time before I even started hormones or anything like that. So I trusted this woman with everything. She guided me through my transition from the beginning to the end. So I really took her word as, you know, the best. She's been in the industry for a while and she just told me straight out, this person is going to do the best work and this is where you need to go. So that doctor was my first choice. Of course, I did look at all the other options, but I did come to the conclusion that that was where I was going to get my surgery. Like I mentioned before, it was a two-part surgery, and that was kind of one of the selling factors for me, was the fact that they could go in and do the single-stage penile inversion technique and get the vagina that most other surgeons get, but then they also go back 3 months later and they do the labiaplasty, which is where they make all the little like folds and stuff like that and make it look like a cis vagina. The surgeon that my therapist recommended was Dr. Toby Meltzer, who is located in Scottsdale, Arizona. He's been doing this for many, many years. He's done thousands and thousands of surgeries. So needless to say, his waiting list was very, very long. After my initial consultation with them, they told me that the waiting list was close to like 3 years for him. To me, that was not possible. I needed a surgery now. So when I was talking to Dr. Meltzer about my concerns about having to wait that long, he introduced me to Dr. Lay, which was somebody that he was actually just starting to train in the surgery. He assured me that the results that I would get from her would be completely identical, and if there was anything that he wasn't comfortable with her doing, he would do it himself, even if he was not the surgeon that I had signed up for, you know? So he really convinced me that Dr. Lay was going to be doing good work. She would studied in microcranial surgery and stuff like that, and her credentials are just unbelievable. Hi, Dr. Lay, if you're watching, I love you so much. I hope you're doing good. Love you. So yeah, after like a long talk with my mom and a lot of discussions with my gender therapist who I trusted and a lot of different research and stuff like that, I came to the conclusion that I was very comfortable with Dr. Lay doing my surgery, and I trusted her with everything. I truly mean that I trusted her. I knew that she was not going to do anything wrong to me, and I knew that she was going to give me the result that I wanted. So yeah, at the time that I was talking to them, she wasn't even doing the surgery yet. She was practicing with him, working side by side with him, really mastering the technique before he let her even do the surgery on anybody. I was one of the first patients that she did, not like one of the very first, but like one of the first few hundred, I want to say. But to me, that was not a big deal because she had been trained in reconstructive surgery and all this stuff. So she was literally taking trauma victims and putting them back together to make them look like nothing had ever happened. So to me, there should be no problem with her learning a technique and going in and doing everything off of a healthy, fresh client or patient, you know what I mean? So for Cigna to cover my surgery, there was a few requirements that I had to meet. I had to be on hormones for at least a year. I had actually started hormones July 27th of the year before, so it was exactly a year after I started hormones that I had surgery. And you also need to have 2 letters from a licensed psychiatrist or something like that, showing that you are transgender, you do have gender dysphoria, and that this surgery is necessary for you. So I did have to get a letter from my gender therapist who I've been talking about, and I also had to go see somebody else who was also a specialist in this field. My initial surgery date was August 12th of 2016. After a few cancellations, I was able to get moved up to July 28th, like I said before, which was really, really good because looking back, I thought that August 12th would be plenty of time to heal before I had to go back to school, which was in early September. But in hindsight, literally, I would not have been okay. I needed that extra 2 weeks. Whoever canceled, bless you, I needed that, thank you. So the day before surgery, I went in for my pre-op checkup. They let me know everything that they were still planning on doing. They let me know like all the risks, stuff like that they have to do. And they also gave me my care package with my dilators and stuff like that. I'll talk about what dilators are for in a little bit. Prepare yourselves. And they also gave me a bowel cleanse, which was not fun. So I stayed in the hospital for I think 12 days after surgery. The day after surgery, I was on bed rest. I wasn't allowed to leave my bed at all. I had drains all in me. I had so much going on down here that I didn't even look. Like it was scary to me. I did not want to look. But also like as bruised, bloody, and like gross as it looked after surgery, like I was so happy and I was like, oh my God, it looks so good. Like girl's got a vagina, fuck. So the day after that bed rest, I started walking around the hospital and doing little movements here and there and stuff like that. The first day that I started to walk, I was walking to the bathroom, which was like in my room, obviously, but I got up out of the bed and I almost passed out. Like I remember everything went blurry. I couldn't hear anything. It started to go black. And I said that and the nurse was like, okay, all right, let's sit back down. Everything was fine. Like I stood up too quick or something like that, but that was a little scary. It was a little bit of a scary moment. I want to say like day 7 or something like that. I'll put on the screen here the actual number, but on day 8 is when they took out all the packing and stuff like that, the stitches down there, everything. So after surgery, they just stuff a bunch of gauze inside of your vaginal canal to keep it open and stop it from contracting on itself and like healing close. Because you know, like you get an ear pierced, if you take the earring out, it'll close and it'll heal back together. So that is what I needed to do with dilation. I needed to start dilating immediately after they took out that gauze, because if I didn't, then it would have closed. So the day after they took out all the filling and the packing inside of me, I had to dilate 5 times that day. I had to put in the glass dilators. I've shown them in a video before, so if you want to see what those are like, go see my video, my pre-op video. It's way down, go check it out. But yeah, basically I had to put the dilator in for 15 to 30 minutes, I think, at full depth and everything like that. 5 times a day the first day, and then after that it was 4 times a day. And then a few weeks later they had me move up to the next size, and I would gradually keep moving up on sizes and gradually have to dilate less and less. For the rest of the 12 days in the hospital, things were going really, really good. All the nurses were super helpful. My pain was very well managed by the medicines that they gave me. I had like a PCA, patient-controlled anesthesia, which is like you just press a button and it gives you like drugs. I had that, which was really helpful for the first day, and then they brought me oral pain medication like Percocet and stuff like that, and I would have like a little call button to bring the medication whenever I like needed it. So for me, things started to really go downhill after I left the hospital. While I was in the hospital, they let me know that I was having a little bit of separation on my incisions, which means that like I was swelling so much that it was ripping the stitches apart and things were like opening up, you know what I mean? Which was terrifying, disgusting, painful, all that kind of stuff. But in the hospital, it was well managed, it was taken care of, and it wasn't too bad. That being said, as soon as I left the hospital, we were in our hotel room, I was dilating, and we were gonna go to actually like a laser hair appointment in like an hour or something like that. I was feeling really good at this point, but I think something got moved, or I like touched a stitch, or I don't know what happened when I was dilating, but something moved, something changed, and I was in the worst pain of my entire life. I felt like I was going to die. I felt like somebody shot me in the pussy. I felt like, I don't know, it's literally just like giving me a panic attack thinking about it, because I was laying in my bed screaming to my mom like, I fucked up, like I messed up, I'm never gonna be okay again, like this is the worst pain of my life, like all this stuff, begging her to give me more painkillers, but she's like, I can't, like you've had the max dose, like trying to get our doctor on the phone to like see what I can take, all this kind of stuff. And it was just so dark, like it was just such a dark period. We got a hold of my doctor. She said I could take another pain medicine, and that luckily put me asleep until the next day when my doctor could actually come to my hotel room and visit me. So Dr. Lay, literally, I can't say it enough, she's a lifesaver, an angel, like literally everything that you will need for this surgery, she did. After that day, things were a lot better. I had to take a 6-hour plane ride home, so my swelling got a little bit worse, and you know, it continued to like pull apart and stuff like that. So I had a very, very difficult time recovering. They said that I should have been good to go after about like 2 or 3 weeks, like good to go back to work. For me, it took a good 3 to 4 weeks to be healed enough to the point where I could go about my normal life. And even then, I still needed to bring my little butt pillow that I sat on around. I still needed to, you know, I still had to dilate every day. I still had to like clean it, put like creams and stuff on it to make sure it was healing nice, make sure like I had to bandage it. It was a process, and it was scary. After surgery, they don't call it Frankenpussy for a reason. After surgery, she was messy. She did not look like a vagina. She was swollen. She was like not cute, but you just have to give it time. You know what I mean? Like I can say now, 2.5 years later, after all my surgeries, like she's fucking lit. And my boyfriend he literally says it's one of the prettiest vaginas he's ever seen, and like it's so good, like I don't want to be weird or anything like that, but yeah. But that being said, I did go into a little bit of a depression after my surgery. Like I've been saying, it was just such a dark time for me, and I don't think that I was as mentally prepared as I thought I was, and I think that I should have done a little bit more preparation for it. I honestly thought that I was just gonna go into surgery, wake up, take my pain medicine, and I would be okay in a week or two. But it wasn't like that at all. It was a 1 to 2 month long process to heal and get back into the swing of things. And then I had to go back again a few months later to get another surgery. It wasn't nearly as bad as the first one. It was like a piece of cake compared. I only had to stay overnight for this surgery. So yeah, if you guys want more details about that, I can make another video on my second surgery, but there's all the notes that I took for this video. I'm sure I'm forgetting so many things. I asked you guys on Instagram what you guys wanted to know about my sexual reassignment surgery, and I have a pretty good list of questions, so I want to go through those now. Somebody asked what my biggest fear before surgery was, and that's a great question, because thinking back, I don't think I was really afraid. I trusted my surgeon so much, and I knew that she was going to do right by me, and I knew that I was going to be fine. So I really wasn't scared for anything. Maybe just not being able to be independent and not being able to take care of myself worried me, but I don't think I would say that it scared me. You guys also want to know so much about like sex and how it feels and stuff like that, but I feel like that is a little bit of it's a different subject. You know, I want to make another video talking about my sexual experience as a trans person, especially as a post-op trans person. The next question was it awkward to have so many people down in your lower area for so long? Something that I forgot to mention earlier was that I had to have 3 rounds of electrolysis done in that down area, which by the way was also extremely painful. One of the most painful things I've ever done. I don't recommend it if your surgeon doesn't require it, but my surgeon did, so I had to do it. So by the point that surgery came out, I was just so used to people being down there for hours and hours and staring at things and pulling on things and stuff like that, that I was kind of just like, whatever, like, do what you gotta do. I'll be here. Somebody asked what I wish I had known before I had surgery, and I think I wish I had known that my sex drive was going to almost disappear after surgery. That being said, it wouldn't have changed anything. I still would have had the surgery, but yeah. The final question for this video is, do I have any regrets? That is also a great question. But after surgery, like I said, I had some complications and I was in a lot of pain, and I did regret it in that moment. I didn't think that I was going to be okay again. And just with how everything looked and everything like that right after surgery, like I regretted it. I didn't want to be in that situation anymore because, like I said, I was not mentally prepared for that. My only regret is that I wish I had taken more time to make sure that I was mentally prepared to have such a big change down here and such a big adjustment and everything like that. That being said, I am 100,000 million% happy with my results. I am extremely happy with my life right now and all that stuff. But yeah, that is something that I wish I had taken more time to do, was just mentally prepare. I have struggled with depression and stuff my whole life, so that is obviously going to be a factor in everything that I do. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, you guys, you made it to the end. That is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something about SRS or GRS or GAS. I don't even know. I used to like to call it gender affirming surgery or sex affirming surgery because, like, I feel like my sex is female and just kind of like confirmed it. I don't know, whatever you call it. Thank you for watching this video. I post videos every week here on this channel, so if you're not already, make sure you subscribe right down below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Peace.